Bonjour everyone, Pantoufleee here today for a new video in which we're going to talk about the JagdTiger 8.8cm simply because it's available in a great offer that features the tank and some several stuffs for only 5.5k gold. As you can see, 30 days of premium account featuring 500,000 credits, the tank. For this offer, it would be a shame not to do a video simply because you get yourself right there one of the greatest tier 8 tank destroyers. And I know that it could seem a little bit off to say that about the JagdTiger 8.8 due to the fact that it was one of the first premium ever implemented into the game, which would probably lead you to think that Wargaming made some greater premium tanks. And it's the case, you would be right. We have the Scorpion G that has a fully traversable turret. We also have Tech Tree tanks that are still more relevant than the JagdTiger. But this one has something not a single one at tier 8 has, and it's called the greatest DPM of all time. Just take a look at that, 3.5k damage per minute. This is just insane because you reload in 6 seconds to inflict 350 alpha damage. On top of that, we also have the possibility of mentioning the accuracy, which is just crazy on this tank, 0.26 for 4.1 seconds of aim time. All the values that this gun has to offer is simply perfect. If you are looking to deal damage, then this gun is the perfect one. You have the choice between two of them. You can actually get the first one, but to be fair, nobody is playing it and it's totally logical simply because this one does everything in a better way. Now, of course, it comes to a price, and this price is being turretless, but most importantly, having a poor mobility, because with this one, you are going to go around 23 kilometers per hour. If you boost it up and use the right equipments plus the right provisions, you can climb up to 30 kilometers per hour, which gives you an average speed. But let's be honest, when it comes to the traverse speed, it really sucks. Now, something interesting to notice about this tank, if you're not looking for a JagdTiger 8.8 right now, you also have the possibility of waiting for Christmas, simply because Wargaming will release a new version, which is called the JagdTiger 8.8cm 2015, which is coming regularly every Christmas for the exact same price as this one, but at least here you have first a legendary camo, and on top of that, it looks definitely cooler to have an exclusive tank rather than the one everybody can get. But statistics-wise, both tanks are similar, so if you don't care about this, then yeah, get the offer right now. Something to mention concerning the equipments, I see a lot of people using enhanced armor on it. It's totally useless simply because this area right there that is able to get penetrated while using gold shell will get penetrated regardless of the 4% enhanced armor items, simply because, well, gold shells are penetrating more than only 400% more than what you have right there. For the rest of the tank, lower plate is a weak spot. The ammunitions are located right there and there, so be careful when you're exposing your side not to get ammo-racked. But as long as you stick in front of your opponents and hide the whole part right there, you should be safe. If you're facing tier 7, you can show the upper part of the hull, nobody will penetrate. If you're seeing or exposing yourself to tank destroyers, and especially tier 8 tank destroyer, make sure to only show them the upper part of the hull with the turret cheeks and the big gun. On top of that, if you want a good playstyle with it, if you want to push and try to prevent people from being able to penetrate here or here, try to wiggle in order to improve your chances for you to get penetrated into the gun mantlet and therefore bouncing the shot. As I talked a little bit about the playstyle in the hangar, I'm going to focus here on what you want to avoid. What's important to avoid when playing this tank is obviously being alone. You are turretless, and the fact that your mobility is not the best means that if you are getting circled by a medium or a light tank, it's over. So there are two fields I would like you to avoid. First, being alone. Second, being in an open field. Because if you are in an open field and you're getting circled, there is no way you will be able to get rid of the medium or the light tank that is in your back. Whereas if you're playing in town, like it's my case right now, I have the possibility of using a building to avoid getting circled or these kind of things in order to turn around and shot the medium. Now, something I would also like to talk about here in this review is probably the fact that the JagdTiger, even if it's probably one of the best DPM, is not a tank that scares quite a lot of people. And this is a psychological trick. Basically, the older the tank, the easier it becomes for you to underestimate it. And therefore, you're gonna see more people playing aggressively toward you when you're playing this tank, etc. On top of that, everybody is already aware, as this tank has been around for a very long time, on how to play against it. But there is something that plays in your favor when you're playing with this. It's the fact that as we have multiple tank destroyers at tier 8 that not a lot of people are playing, for example, that a lot of people are playing, so the WZ-121 GFT, a lot of people are aware of the WZ, and some people tend to forget about the JagdTiger 8.8cm, which can be a good help for you if you encounter people that don't have a clue how to face the tank because they don't see it, because nobody plays it anymore. And it's a shame, because beside its ability to get some good damage on the battlefield, the JagdTiger is also one of the craziest tanks when it comes to make credits, because here you get yourself one of the top 5 tank destroyers when it comes to the credit coefficient. So yeah, you're gonna get a lot of credits. Now, of course, to get a lot of credits, you need to play well and to have good games. And in order to play well and to have good games, you need to know what you're doing. And this is why we're going to talk about the playstyle right now. Basically, with this, you try to hide the lower part of the hull. You only show the upper part, which is where the gun is located, and you pray for your opponents not to circle you. Here, as you can see, it's working. We're facing a T-54E2 that can't do anything. We're sneaking a first shot in. He thinks, okay, that's it, I'm gonna go on the guy. Now I'm using my mighty adrenaline. And here, as I reload in 5 seconds, well, yeah, T-54E2, it's over for you. So there we go. Aiming, shotting, and boom, there we go. And you're gonna see in the end of the replay how frustrating this tank can be when it comes to snapshots. Because you're gonna see against the T-34, my snapshot abilities are kind of bad with this tank. I don't know if it was me or the tank. Personally, I think it was me. I'm not gonna blame the tank for it. But still, the fact that you have to turn around extremely slowly when it comes to corners, etc., makes it frustrating from time to time to play aggressively. So yeah, with this one, you want to make sure that you are not trying to push forward. You need to make sure not to be alone. And most importantly, you need to make sure that you're not showing the lower part of the hull. So that's it. We're not going to be able to get the T-28 prototype because of how slow we are. Just take a look at that, only going at 20 kilometers per hour. And do not even try to equip with the engine boost the JagdTiger, because to be fair, it's not going to work, and it's gonna just block a slot for you to get something maybe better, like a repair kit or so. And this is how we get ourselves 3.8k damage, which is, with the JagdTiger, a really good game. As nobody's playing it, we're gonna get a first class out of that. And yeah, the number of credits we did as we played with some gold shell, we're getting less, but just take a look at that with premium, how much money I made. 1,2500, sorry. And yeah, no, 125,000, sorry. This is better. I'm sorry about this, guys. So yeah, you get yourself right there quite an interesting tank, and to be fair, for 5.5k gold, in my opinion, that's a steal. So hopefully you enjoyed. If that's the case, feel free to subscribe, like, and share, and I'm gonna see you soon for a new video. Bye.